Hey, here we are, folks. Ask your man. That's right. I'm back again, sitting high atop the NRG Stadium, along with Elwin on the road. For some reason, he just saw him, and now he's on the road, rambling and going. And so here we are again, the AdMax Corner, after the Texans faced the Miami Dolphins today. And folks, this is one game. We tell you what, I'm glad it's preseason. You know what? Just you can go ahead and burn the film. You take out the bad part, find some good spots in it, and there were a few good spots today for the Texans. But your Houston Texans fall to the Miami Dolphins today, 28-3, and you know what? With the exception of a few bright spots, or CJ Stroud, I thought made major advanced steps today from a quarterbacking perspective, and just been major in mastering the offense. Will Anderson is living up to his reputation and his title. You know, he had some impact plays while he was out there. Overall, folks, I'm gonna just say it, like I said on X, Twitter, whatever. Missed tackles are one thing, but then that's gonna happen. But as far as effort, that's when you perceive a lack of effort, that's unacceptable. And I think when you in this league at this level, you can't have it. Also, as he's going motoring down the road, Elwin Henderson on the road from the Gilmore Mirror. Elwin, what's your initial thoughts on the Texans at the end of this little soiree that they had today?
Well, the big thing, I thought the defense last week against the New England Patriots was flying all over the field. Granted, New England is not nearly as good a football team as the Miami Dolphins are, but I didn't think the defense was getting after it today. They were missing tackles. To me, they didn't seem like they were flying down the field like they should be. Like you said, it just really seemed to me like a lack of effort, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, the intensity level, and this is
Yep.
something that D'Amico Ryans stressed day in and day out. Intensity. Come with the effort to play. Come like with your hair on fire. Come like your pants, like you ready to make a statement. And
Yep.
the statement that I saw today is not the statement that I think that this team want to keep presenting with one more week of a preseason game. They'll spend all next week in New Orleans with some joint practices, and then they'll close out the regular season next Sunday with the against the New Orleans Saints. But I think these are things that can be cleaned up, and I think this is if you want to make a statement, if you want to say that I deserve to be here as a Houston Texan, and you're talking about the type of defense where they want to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Today, that wasn't happening. It happened in few sporadic spots. It did not happen on a consistent enough basis for folks to feel good about the Texans and the direction that they are going. And I'm not going to just go totally ballistic and say, okay, 3 steps up, 4 steps back. No, I don't. I think it's a lot closer because that was some positive. I think, again, I mentioned C.J. Stroud. There was some opportunities there and I think he made some nice progressions and progress today. His receivers, right, I thought on a couple of occasions, let him down. I mean, there are balls that you got to catch. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're running 4th string. If you run a 4th string, there's a reason you're running 4th string. So, you got to catch the ball, guys. In certain situations, if the ball's not going to be in your breadbasket all the time, that's the reason you got to go out there and make catches. Though that's where they separate the real pros from just the wannabes. And I think today we saw some wannabes out there that did not want to be pros. That's just putting it. But it's preseason, so we can watch. This can be washed out the system.
Yeah, definitely, it can be. And the bottom line is it's got to be, because as you know, just about everybody is expecting the Saints to be a lot better this year. And I don't know if you watched any of the Saints game last weekend or not, but Derek Carr looked better than he's looked in a long time. He's got some playmakers around him. And I'm pretty sure that the Saints are going to have their starters play probably at least a couple series next week. We need to see, in my mind, dramatic improvement next week if this team's going to be ready to open the season the way they should against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson on the first Sunday of the regular season on the 10th of September.
Yeah, like I say, you and I both just came out the presser with D'Amico Ryans, and the thing about it, he's not, and he's a new coach. He's a young coach. We know him as a player. We've seen him as a D coordinator from afar. Now we get to see him at home. How does he handle this situation as far as getting his team back focused and getting his team back to be representative, particularly from the defensive side of the ball. And
Yes.
and this is, to me, I think that this has to be one of the bellwether, one of the hallmarks of the Houston Texans team this year. If they're going to make some significant advancement, if they're going to with the crowd and with the enthusiasm that they have going around them, the expectations level for them is going to be, we got to, whether you lose or not. Yet the thing about it, we got to know that the effort is there, and folks going to say, no, whatever ball game that they play the Houston Texans, they're going to know, hey, you're not just throwing your helmet out there. The day I could almost sit there and say, I did not see that, not consistently, not for everybody that had that blue steel helmet on today.
No.
That was just it in a nutshell. So I think that overall, okay, hey, let's throw this one away. It's out,
Yep.
and I'll be quite candid with you. You and I both have covered this game, this game, this team, and this game a long time. You don't want to see this in the regular season. If this is a flush game, and they can flush this out of their system and can go into the regular season, you might, we say, yeah, we're going to lose some games, but I tell you what, it's not going to be like it was today. The difference of rush yardage, they gave the Texans only had 32-yard rushes today. The Miami Dolphins had 205 yards rushing. Yep. I mean, a total of almost 400 yards. 400 yards of a total offense, opposed to the Texans had less than 200. Time of possession had 38 minutes to 21 minutes. And, the only thing that the Texans beat the Dolphins on today was they had more penalties,
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, a couple other areas I should say concerned, because it is concerned. Poor David Hill looked as bad today as he did last season for the most part. He didn't do much at all, and that's disappointing. And of course, he didn't even get in the game.
Hey. Yeah, no, it is, man. But you know what? That's okay. But you know what? That's all right. His receivers regressed on him today too. That was some balls. Yeah, his receivers let him down today too. So I mean, overall, I think that was a lot of, like I say, there were more misses than hits today, and that's just it, man. Tell you what, man. Like I said, it's not. Hey, we can shine this pig up. We can put a Chanel dress on it. We can put the finest perfume on it. Let's say it was a squeaker today. It was an oinker today, and they did not play up to what we thought that this team has shown to be. And hopefully this will be one that they can just put back and say, put it on the shelf and say, this is not the team that we're going to be moving forward. So we'll see next week as they. They're going to spend the majority of the week in New Orleans, as I mentioned earlier, joint practices against the Saints. They'll close out the preseason next week against the Saints. So we'll see. Closing comments from you, Elvin, as you tag it on down the line there.
Well, I think the big thing you got to remember, the old saying, when you win, it's never as good as it looked. When you lose, it's never as bad as it looked. And like you say, they just got to throw this by the wayside. If they can do that and refocus and show some major improvement against the Saints next Sunday, then I think we can hope for a close contest. You and I have said all along, even though C.J. Stroud is progressing and he looked better, I thought much better today than he did last Saturday. But the bottom line is the defense, even with today's defensive performance, is ahead of the offense. If we get the defense straightened out, this defense is going to keep us in games early in the year until the offense can get rolling. That's going to be the real key. But of course, the bottom line, we should see improvement next week. But if we don't see improvement next week, it could be ugly in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, it can get real in about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, it could get real ugly in
Yeah.
Baltimore. I don't anticipate. I think D'Amico is going to. I think I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to get this thing turned around. You know, like I say, next week they'll leave out of here Wednesday, and they'll have joint practices with the New Orleans Saints next week. Finish up the regular season next Sunday. And so we'll see. But I tell you what, man, score from NRG Stadium, the Miami Dolphins 28, your Houston Texans 3. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about them. Put a wrap on this. Let's put a wrap on this baby, and let's call it a night, okay? Elvin, tell you what, hey man, be careful down the road. We'll be talking later on. Be careful, man. And final questions from anything from you. Finally, as we go ahead and I let you go whiz down 59 or 69 or whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah, they're calling it both. Yeah, you know, the only other thing I would say is I thought D'Amico Ryans handled it well. I was interested to see how he was going to be able to handle, even though it was preseason, that big a loss. And I thought he handled it well. He looked like a head coach the way he answered the questions. He looked like someone who had been there and had to do it before, even though he hadn't. As we know, when he did face the media in San Fran, he didn't have a whole lot of this that he had to go through. So I thought he handled himself as well as he could have handled himself.
Yep. And like I said, like I say, you can call it for what it is. One thing D'Amico said that he's not, like he's honest with his players. He's not going to necessarily throw them under the bus in front of us. But I think, and that's the one thing, and I wouldn't respect not only him but any other coach to sit there and throw him under the bus. I mean, come on, it's only second game preseason. You know, you wanted to see a better outcome. You know, the practice sessions shown differently, but like I say, this is the dress rehearsal. And this dress rehearsal didn't go according to what anybody thought that they would have expected to see today. But that's okay. We knew it. They didn't come through. They didn't perform to the level that we thought they should have. But that's next week, and that's why in the lineup. And and far as everything else is concerned, I think some guys have solidified themselves to making this final roster, and some other guys are probably gonna have to go back and take a look in the mirror and find out. Okay, am I going to be on this ball club? Do I want to be on this ball club?
Yep.
So that's where we are right now. Elvin, be careful. Be down the road, and we'll talk at you later, man. Be careful now.
All right, buddy. Have a good rest of your weekend.
You too now. All right, folks, as the Elvin sort of motors on down the road there, we want to just get ready and wrap it up. And don't forget, Chris Gardner is coming on the Houston Roundball YouTube channel talking about Rockets talk. So everybody's trying to figure out James and call Dal Mario a liar. So I'm pretty sure y'all gonna be amped up to try to figure out if that's a real thing or not. But if not, hey, tell you what. But again, from the NRG Stadium, the Texans go down to the Miami Dolphins today, 28-3. The Texans next week will be all in New Orleans for the better part of the weekend for the last preseason game. And so as I get ready to wrap it up and get out of NRG Stadium myself, this is your guy, Adolphus A.D. Moore from NRG Stadium. And on the Ad Max Corner, if you have not subscribed to the corner, please do so. If you have not subscribed to the Houston Roundball YouTube channel, subscribe to that. Subscribe to both of them, folks. Because as the season gets long and gets started, obviously we're gonna have longer shows with more content after post game and so forth. But as far as this is concerned, this is a preseason game. We're not gonna break it out, but we're just gonna decide to give you a flavor of what to expect to come. Hopefully, we'll be talking more about a better played ball game, a better played attitude, and so forth. So, without further ado, ciao from NRG Stadium, and as Elwin Hamels moves motors down the road, AD Moore is out. 28-3, Miami Dolphins over the Houston Texans, and I'm out. And take care, folks. Peace.